Well folks, welcome back to the workshop again. This time to a very quick and easy power tool repair video. This is going to be a wee quick how-to video on how to repair a Bosch impact driver. More specifically, the Bosch GDX 18V-200C half-inch anvil impact driver. So this one is the one that takes either the half-inch sockets, because there's quite a good wee small impact wrench as well if you need it, or it can be used as an impact driver. It's one of the strongest impact drivers you get on the market. This one has got two very common faults we're going to fix in this one. So this is going to be a wee quick how-to video on how to fix these two common ones. There's actually three common faults in this here particular impact driver. The first one being the tool holder, but this one's actually fine. If you ever need to replace the tool holder, this little red sleeve, if it ever gets a drop and breaks on you, there's actually an internal C-clip you actually have to pop out from the inside to dismantle this. But that's not the problem here. This time it's two even simpler problems. First one being the change lever. We're going forward and reverse. She goes forward, but you can't get her into reverse unless you poke it on with the tip of your finger. Very common. If these get a bang or put down wrong, or they fall over, something drops on them, they can snap off one of these little ends here. And that's what happened. The other thing is the wee board here, the selector switches. So the light's working, but it's not letting you select any other speed. Luckily for this man, it's actually on high speed, but a lot of times they fail in low speed and makes them basically worthless or useless. But this is how to repair it anyway. If you have one of these Bosch impact drivers, you need to change the change lever or this little button down here. You can easily fix these here for very cheap, and this is how you do it. So obviously we have to dismantle, but you also have to take off a little bit of the gearbox up in here. So start with that little rubber sleeve on here, pull that off, and then underneath you'll have a big round C-clip. And you use a screwdriver or circlip pliers to spread this and pop it off. That off, and pull off this little sleeve. So you have to pull out these four screws in. So that also holds on the body. These are all torque screws. So you can use it on the drill or just torque screwdrivers. And then on here then you have T10s. This is just a clamshell, two halves, both just spread apart. Very easy to open. That one's a little bit narrower, it's not going to let my butt on. Just use a screwdriver for this one. You can just leave all the screws where they are. You don't have to take each and every one of them out. We do need to remove the screw. To get all four of them gearbox screws out, and this whole cover just lifts straight off. And these are nice because they have a little fuse built into them as well. What's that, a 40 amp fuse, so if it ever draws too much power it normally pops the fuse before it pops the actual control board. Repairing these things, if your switch goes or your controller, you're basically replacing the machine. They're going to cost at least about €100 for them, their parts, and they can't be bought separately. Your stator, if that goes, if it all gets corroded or broken, you can replace that for about €30 or €40. It's not too bad. Anything inside the gearbox though can't be replaced. This is one unit apart from the actual sleeve on the outside and a couple of the wee springs and washers inside of this. The sleeve itself, like I said, has a C-clip, but there's actually a set of springs and clips inside this again. So the sleeve comes with the balls, but then the other parts are separate, so there's 3 or 4 other components. The steel ball goes on, then there's a steel ring over the top, there's a spring, and there's a C-clip then to hold all that assembly in. And this here outside red sleeve then goes over the top of them, and then a clip goes on the back of it to basically sandwich them all together. You can buy all those pieces, but you can't buy the anvil on its own or anything inside the gearbox like the gears or the cover or anything. So if this goes, you're probably replacing it as well. that'll cost about €80 or so for that alone. But the main things that goes can be replaced. One, little forward reverse lever, and two, this little switch. And also the battery retainer, just in case you ever burn through the contacts or you get a drop and you bend these here little contacts, you can actually just replace this and just solder on a new one. This is an even easier repair today. Down on here, one little rubbing connector, pull up the little lock for it. And they're the two pieces we need to replace. We'll look up the computer here now. We'll go onto the Bosch site and get the part numbers for these here. I should have these in stock in the workshop, but I'll need the numbers first. So this is your impact driver on the Bosch site. You can buy most of the bits. So the likes of the body, Bosch actually have prices as well, about €20 for the body. If you prefer break the handle of it. The gearbox, as you can see, is all one piece, including the anvil. But you can buy the little hog ring on the end for using it as an impact driver, an impact socket. So this comes together with the sleeve all on it if you buy it as a kit. But all these here other pieces can all be bought separately, and they're not all that expensive, including the little cover and everything up here. You can also buy the rotor on its own, and like I said, the battery retainer and the stator, but the switch and the controller is all one piece. So they're a little bit more expensive, but still worth replacing if they ever fail. The parts we need is these here. Little board costs about €10. That's the part number 1600A013BB. I should have that in stock, and I definitely have this little changeover lever. It's only costing like €2. 1600A011KM. So that ain't too hard to find because it's right here. That's how common a one this is. That's me. I just need to find that little board. Now for me, you can tell how common a problem is by how many parts I have in stock. So it's not a common problem, not a common part to fail. I'll not keep it in stock. If it goes regularly, I'll always try to keep one. So that one, a little keyboard, and I've got 3 in stock. So that's how often this goes. It's not unusual to get 1 or 2 of these on at the same time, on the same day. So I keep plenty of them. Might be a common problem, but at least it's an easy and cheap fix. To do this yourself is probably not even going to cost you about €15. For a repair shop, it's going to cost you about 25 or 30 minutes. That's not all that much labour involved. 5 or 10 minute job is all this here really takes. Before we go any further, I'm just going to give this wee blast of the compressor to clean out some of this dust. It's always worth cleaning it out when you have an opportunity, but there's actually more dust on here than you would think. Look at that. It's not usually this bad. So he's working around oil or grease or something. Give that another wee clean. Just give that a wee wipe down. And also, just do the same on this side, seeing as the front's so bad. Because this is also where the fan is. Because this is going to be cooling your machine, and this blocks up completely. Can very easily overheat. I'll just free all that up. Right, it's more of a deep clean. Now the stator, or the field, if you ever need to replace that, it is just connectors they're plugged into. So you take off this here heat shrink and you unplug the connectors, put on the new ones and a bit of heat shrink tape, and then the other connector is just going down onto here, onto this here. So it's very easy to change the stator if you ever need to. So that's your part number for your forward and reverse. Lift up your switch, have the hollow side facing down, and and just drop on your switch and hook on a little lever for it. It just hooks onto the middle. Yellow one then. And your wee, I call it a board, it's actually a keyboard it's called. That there's the part number. Stick these numbers onto Google, you'll find plenty of places selling these. Nice box, all nicely wrapped for one wee board. Problem with these here is always the same. If you look inside, you'll find dust. It's always dust that eventually gets on, because these are basically little bellows. Every time you push the button, it's blowing a little bit of air out. Whenever you let go, it's basically sucking a little bit in. So if there's dust in this, it eventually starts to work its way in. Every time this is pressed, every time it comes up again, it's sucking a little bit in. And if you're hitting this one the most, it's this one that goes. If you're changing the light the most, it's the light that goes. So eventually, it always needs to be replaced, especially if the tool's getting dirty. But the change couldn't be easier. Push in your little tip, rubbing tip, push down your holder, and that's it. It all just sits in here, and this little spring that fell out, that's actually just sitting back here. Look. That's just pushing against your battery retainer to make sure it's kept pushed in to the tool or into the battery to keep good contact. And that's it. A very nice, cheap and easy repair. Anybody could easily do at home. To rebuild, just stick this back in again. Just be careful on the gears, make sure we get on nice and square. Now the gearbox goes on with the lettering facing up. You'd nearly think it should be going on that way, but it's not. The screws are on the higher side, bigger gaps this way. Stick that on. Make sure your stator is sitting down. You know it's down. So if you look halfway down, you should see the bearing, half the bearing against the housing. If it's sitting up too high, like this, it's not on correctly. And if it's not on correctly, do not try to force it. Don't try to put the cover on anyway and just use the screws to push it down. It has to sit right on the housing to get it right. If it's not right, the stator will be tweaked over to one side and it'll rub off the rotor. So even if you turn the rotor now, it will be rubbing on the stator. It's the body that actually lines everything up here and makes it run right, nice and true, so nothing rubs. If it's not sitting correctly, it will rub and burn out your stator, or even worse, your rotor, which actually costs a little bit more. But that is our job done. Just time to rebuild now. Line up your body. Make sure your little chain lever goes onto the body too. And close it up. That's it. You should see the body closed the whole way around. There shouldn't be any big gaps. And up the top here, it might be a little bit of a gap, but it'll close in when you squeeze it, because that'll be the field actually repelling itself off the magnet on the stator. Sometimes this will push back against it, but it should close in the rest of the way, the whole way. If you see a big gap, or it doesn't look right, or it doesn't feel right, stop and check again, because you could have a wire or something nipped against where one of the screws is going on. If you screw everything together, you're going to cut through the wire. So always check just in case. And if you're using a drill, make sure you use it in clutch mode, so you don't strip out the plastic. As impact drivers go, these are actually quite nice. They're great power, nice size, nice and comfortable to use. I'm a very good fan of Bosch tools. Not all of them are great. They do have a few lemons, just like any brand, especially some of the cheaper stuff, but they do have really good quality tools. The only thing I don't like about Bosch is they haven't kept up with a lot of the other brands, especially when it comes to cordless tools. So they just wouldn't have as many tools on the market. But the quality wise is there, and repairability is there. The center screws in your gearbox, your little cover over the top, and your clip to hold that on. And that should be this little Bosch impact driver up and running again, and actually changing down through the speeds. You also get a nice new LED light as well, just in case that's gone as well, or the light goes or the button goes. The same part fixes the whole thing. That's it. That's how you quickly and easily, very cheaply repair a Bosch impact driver with a 1/2 inch anvil, the GDX 18V-200C. That's how you do it. And they're the parts. If you ever need to, order them online yourself. Order them in, stick them in, and save yourself quite a bit of money fixing it yourself, because these wee boys cost me €200 to buy. It's well worth fixing them. Anything goes wrong like that there. And when they're this easy to work on, it's not a difficult job to do. Anyway folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this quick wee Bosch repair video. Hopefully helps somebody out there. As always folks, if you're liking the videos, make sure to drop us a wee like down the bottom, hit that follow button. But till next time folks, thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you again the next time. Cheers!